Saiki Kusuo. Saiki Kusuo just wants to live a normal, quiet life as a regular high school student. Unfortunately, he was born with pretty much every psychic ability imaginable, making normalcy completely impossible. He possesses an extraordinary array of psychic abilities, including psychokinesis and teleportation, but unlike most overpowered protagonists who embrace their gifts, he sees his powers as nothing but a massive headache. When he was younger, he was actually pretty mischievous with his abilities, like making his parents search for him for 5 hours after teleporting away. But as he grew older and realized how much his powers complicated everything, he became the deadpan, antisocial character we know today. His abilities started ruining experiences and forcing him to hide who he really was, turning him into someone who just wants to be left alone. The sheer scope of his powers is absolutely ridiculous. He had a telepathic range that allowed him to hear thoughts of the entirety of Japan, had telekinesis that could easily lift up Roppongi Hills, and could effortlessly destroy the moon. And that's not even scratching the surface of what he can do. He has teleportation, psychokinesis, X-ray vision, precognition, clairvoyance, astral projection, time manipulation, and dozens of other abilities that would make him a god-tier threat in any serious anime. But the most important detail about his power level is the control device he wears. Those pink antenna-looking things above his ears are actually limiters created by Ashina's brother Kusuke to suppress his abilities. When the left side device is removed, his full psychic power goes out of control and multiplies by the amount of time his powers have been suppressed. Without his limiters, he can hear the thoughts of every person on the planet and could exterminate all of humanity with a single thought if he wanted to. The comedy comes from how he uses these world-ending abilities for the most mundane things possible. He teleports to avoid walking upstairs, uses psychokinesis to grab the TV remote, and reads people's minds just to avoid awkward conversations. He was even capable of exploding his entire house just by tossing and turning in his sleep, which shows how little control he had before gaining proper limiters. Some of his most memorable moments involve him accidentally revealing just how powerful he really is. He stopped typhoons, saved planes from crashing, and even prevented a massive meteorite from destroying Japan. During the meteorite incident, he had to remove his limiters temporarily, and the sheer scare of power he unleashes is terrifying. He literally moves faster than light and manipulates matter on a planetary scale to save everyone. Another unforgettable scene involves his brother Kusuke trying to force him to reveal his abilities to the world by creating situations where he has to use his powers publicly. The psychological warfare between these two is intense, because Kusuke is one of the few people who knows exactly how dangerous his brother could be if he ever decided to stop holding back. The festival episode shows his precognition abilities perfectly. He experienced the entire school festival multiple times through his foresight, watching every possible disaster that could happen. He spends the whole episode preventing accidents and problems before they occur, all while maintaining his bored expression and internal monologue about how troublesome everything is. His interactions with bugs provide some of the funniest moments because they're literally the only living thing whose mind he can't read. This makes him genuinely terrified of them since he can't predict what they'll do, creating this hilarious contrast where someone who could destroy the world is afraid of a cockroach. The time travel episode demonstrates another level of his abilities. He can manipulate time itself, though he treats it like any other inconvenient power that causes more problems than it solves. He accidentally changes the past and has to fix timeline issues while complaining about how much work it is. His apport ability, which lets him swap objects with other objects of equal value, leads to some great comedic moments when he accidentally destroys school property by swapping a ball with something completely inappropriate. The fact that he has to follow specific rules and limitations keeps things interesting and prevents his powers from being completely broken. The most terrifying aspect is that all of this represents him holding back constantly. Every single day, he actively suppresses planet-level destructive capability just so he could attend high school and eat coffee jelly in peace. He's essentially a cosmic-level entity pretending to be a normal teenager, and the only reason humanity still exists is because he finds dealing with the aftermath of global destruction too bothersome. Mosh Burndead.